Bigfoot Club. Four. Bigfoot Club. 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bigfoot Club. Robert Jesse Dominguez, Ash Tucker, Steven Robert Dominguez. Believe in us. Believe in Bigfoot Club. Because we are two.
Hi, this is Oscar Mendoza, the author of The Dead Follow and the Book of the Dead. Watch me on Netflix on The Haunted. Listen to the Bigfoot Club podcast.
I just wanted to mention, if you're listening to Bigfoot Club on any of these platforms, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Stitcher, Google Play, Alexa, YouTube, Listen Notes, or Deezer, please give us a comment, a like, a subscription, give us a follow, and we would greatly appreciate it. Also, please like and follow us on Bigfoot Club Facebook page. We're at Bigfoot Club, the number 1. We're also on Twitter. Our handle is at Bigfoot Club, the number 1. Also, check us out on Instagram. We're at Bigfoot Club, the number 1. If you have any Bigfoot, paranormal, or just strange stories, please email us at bigfootclub, the number 1, at gmail.com. Please check out Matt Knapp's YouTube channel, Bigfoot Crossroads and Cryptid Tales. Also, give a listening to Nightcaller's Bigfoot Radio with Lauren Smith. Hey everybody, Bigfoot Club Season 2, Episode 42. Robert Jesse Dominguez with Ash and Steven. Hey guys, how's it going?
Horrible. It's horrible.
Apparently it's horrible.
I've had a rough day.
Yeah, Ash.
I've had a rough couple of days.
Ash, don't hold back.
I won't hold back.
Let Robert.
I can't hold back.
Let Robert Cuddy know what's going on.
Let Robert Cuddy. Okay, listen, Robert. And I was talking to him about So Weird too, which that is like the best show ever. And you can really, if you have Disney Plus, let your kids watch that because that's where it all started with me. Really hardcore.
Hardcore once more.
Yeah, So Weird. And on that, no, the reason why I've had a bad day is because how fucking horrendous this series finale of Supernatural was.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Don't watch it. If you haven't watched it, watch the next to last episode and let that be it.
Is that the one where he throws the pie at Jensen's face, or he
No, that was like, okay, you can watch like the first, like until the cold opening of the last episode, because it was really good, and like it made me really happy. I was like, good, yes, look, they're living their lives, they're doing their thing, and look, and they're happy and they're doing stuff that they love, and then they fucked it up, and I was like, okay, because whenever it really went south, I was like halfway through the episode, and I was like, okay, they can fix it, and they didn't. They just made it. They just like, oh well, we'll just move on.
So was it like the Red Wedding, like, all the brothers die?
No, it was like when Jon Snow stabbed Daenerys.
So someone dies. Okay, wait, don't look at that. Okay,
So
hold on.
But do you know how horrible that was, and how like you wish that like that Drogo took her to go be raised by a red witch, which is what in my head happened after the end, because I feel like they set all that up, and it's like, okay, that's what happened, because there's that other red witch, remember?
Okay, let me say this first. Okay, if you haven't seen the last episode of Supernatural,
don't watch it.
don't
watch it.
Stop.
Watch the next to last episode and stop.
Pause it, and then come back to the show. Come check it.
Well, no spoilers, really. I mean, obviously, because we've kind of been anticipating that something like that would happen. But if they were going to do it kind of like that, they should have gone Butch and Sundance, and they didn't, because that's what the boys wanted. And I think everybody struggled with this ending, and nobody liked it, nobody wanted it, and actor-wise. And I feel like they're like, because I read several articles, and Jensen was like, I'm not about this.
Yeah.
I don't like this. And when they had their meeting, it's like, they told him, it's like, this is the ending, take it or leave it. And they didn't. It didn't seem like they got any interjection in it, and I think that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
because I don't think anybody knows Dean Winchester more than Jensen Ackles.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the thing that, like, with a lot of aspects of his character, like that certain fans had hoped that he would be a certain way or be with this certain person or whatever. You know, it's like when it comes down to it, I think that Jensen should have been consulted.
Yeah.
About this character, and the same with Jared and Sam, because
So you're saying something happens to Jensen?
yeah, I mean, because we've known that for a while. If you pay attention to the articles and stuff, that he has not been happy with the ending since he got it, and that's been over, for over a year.
They had time to fix it because it was like a pandemic.
They should have fixed it, and they didn't. And that's the thing. It's like, dude, you should. I really feel like he should have been more involved, and Jared too. I feel like the both of them, they are the two people that have been on this show since the beginning, that they know these characters. It's just like they describe it. It's like it's my best imaginary friend. It's like he's a part of me. He's my best. I mean, that's what Jared's always said. It's like Sam Winchester is my best friend.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they did that. And
So you're saying it ends like Dean has been dead since season 3, ever since he went to hell.
No. That's not what happened.
The trickster made him seem like you went on.
So he was never there. So he was never there.
He was never there.
What
Inception,
I'm
bam.
saying is, it felt like somebody that
I think.
Honestly, the ending. For this ending, it felt like somebody that wrote fan fiction wrote the ending that had no idea how to do it right. And it was just so phoned in and just like, here you go.
I haven't seen it yet, so I'm going to actually...
I mean, you can watch it. I mean, go ahead and watch it, but I don't think I ever will. Again, I think when I'll rewatch it, I will get to the last episode, and the way it ended was perfect, I feel. That's because, like last week, I was like... I don't know what they're going to do. And honestly, other than like the first 10, 15 minutes with that cold opening when they were like, yay, we get to live our lives, whatever. Mm-hmm. And going to the pie festival, which is great. It's like that was awesome. If they would have just like thrown that last 15 minutes on last week's episode and then that would have been it, I would have been happy.
Wow.
And like if
Sounds
the very
last episode.
It was worse than if Chuck would have had done it. Because it was just like so empty. It felt so hollow.
This reminds me of the season final episode of The Shield.
Really? I need to watch that.
Dude, you don't want to watch it.
I don't want to watch it. It wasn't good like Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, I'm telling you, man. I was like,
Did you ever watch Sons of Anarchy?
I got season 1 downloaded, but I haven't watched it.
It's really good. And I feel like a lot of people were like, oh, well, that's not how it happened. I think that's whatever. And like, no. I think it needed to end like it ended, and it was perfect, because if it not, then I feel like, because it was based on Hamlet, and at the end of Hamlet, everyone dies.
Yeah.
And I feel like if if they hadn't ended it like it was, then it wouldn't have been how certain characters needed it to be, because it's just like, oh, well, we're just going to continue the same cycles for our children, and we don't want that, which is what in the beginning, the main character's dad is like, there was this, he wrote like an autobiography, and that was a big deal because the character had always was reading these journals in this book and stuff that his dad wrote, how he didn't want this for his son, and his son was in this thing, and I feel like that's kind of how it ended. It's like, I don't want this for, I thought it had a good solid ending.
Well,
but Supernatural did not.
Well, I was watching The Shield like some years ago, and Steven and I, we were watching that. We were watching 24 at the same time too. So at the end of the final episode, finally, I was so pissed. I got up, I grabbed all because at the time they were like DVDs. So I grabbed all the DVDs when I went to I think it was what was it? Huh?
You went to Movie Trade?
Yeah, I went to Movie Trade and sold them all. I was so pissed. I was pissed.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Like, no, I would never leave these, because, man, this show has been on my whole adult life. The first season aired. It was right after I moved to Longview, I was 19 years old. It was right after I finished high school. And it's like my whole adult life. It's like, you know, when I didn't have any friends or anything and I didn't know anything, it's like I had this show, right? And I would never do that. But that's why it's so upsetting. It's like you did that
Yeah.
to something that I feel like is like a person that might not be real, but I feel like is a piece of me.
You're invested.
You know?
You're invested a lot of time in it.
I
so.
see myself in this character, and I think a lot of people do, and I see him in a lot of people that I've had a very, very personal relationships with, and he deserved better.
Well, okay, so Dean dies. That's what I take from this. He dies, or he's screwed somehow, some way. He's screwed, blued, and tattooed. Well, maybe just tattooed.
I mean, I don't like to give any spoilers, but I don't think it's worth like sharing because I think it's horrible. It's bullshit, and you know, and Jensen struggled with it a long time, and I think the only time that he ever accepted it is he had to have a conversation with Eric Kripke. Was the only one that eventually made it okay for him, and I would like to know further in that other than be honest, like, hey man, I'll give you a job on this other really awesome show in this new role, and hopefully that'll help you heal. But I honestly think that that's like why both of them have struggled with the end so long is because they were not a fan of it.
Well,
because like
I think they knew that, you know, one way to end a show is to end it and
I don't think it's over though.
Yeah, I mean, I think
spinoff.
I heard
Movie?
the Michael Rosenbaum, the Inside of You podcast with both of them, and they both said that if they were brought back, they would come back. Like,
Yeah, and Jensen
they would not say no.
made a post yesterday. He, you know, a couple pictures. One of the videos was him like putting on his boots for the last time, like Dean's boots, and I think he took them too. And he's like, "This is the end."
Boots,
and he's like,
the car.
He's like, "This is the end for now." And that's what my comment is like, you know, for now. And I think that nobody is ready for this to be the end. They're not going to accept this as the end, and I don't accept this as the end, and I don't think that it will be. So,
I mean, I think it's kind of cool that he's doing that. He kind of reminds me of CM Punk when CM Punk left, and everybody keeps asking him, "Hey, you're going to come back?" And he always says, "I never say never," but you know, oh well.
I think that they'll probably, because just the way things are with shows now.
Yeah.
And the options of it, I think eventually they'll come back to it, and I think, and hopefully they'll fix this fucking dumpster fire of a goddamn series finale, because on one hand, I think if it would have been okay if they would have been like, do you remember like the ending of 6 Feet Under?
I didn't watch that. I didn't watch that show.
Of course, you know that movie or that series is very heavily based on death, and so the montage was everybody's death. I think like if they would have had this ending, but several years into the future, I would have been okay with that. But
so you're saying someone dies?
But of course, it's supernatural. Everyone dies, but no one ever dies for forever. And I want to hold on to that too. But I feel like, you know, both of our boys deserved to have some peace in this life, not necessarily the next, because of everything that they've been through and all that they've done, and they deserve better all around.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air now if I'm going to watch it or not. So,
I mean, watch it, but I wouldn't say, you know.
Told you so. Told you.
They should have left it where it was last week, because that may mean that was just like, it was pretty finally
peaceful.
we're free and we can do what we want. And this was just like, oh, well, like for a week and then fuck you. And they deserve better.
Yeah.
Because
I think that they did this on purpose so they can bring it back.
Yeah.
Hence, because they're bringing back Dexter.
That's
and
fine.
Dexter's ending
If they do that, then
was
I'll be
terrible.
okay. I'll be okay. But if this is all there
gonna have
is,
to
then
wait.
that's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know?
No, they'll bring it back. They invested 15 years on it.
No
They're gonna
doubt.
bring it
And there's
back.
so
They're
much,
gonna
you know,
bring it back.
and it's not just, you know, the show, but it's just like everything that's come from the community and everything, and how much everyone has created a family out of it, and
Yeah.
how much they've done, like the charity work that all these people do, and how they just like lift up every. Yeah, we're not going anywhere, and there's a lot more to come.
Yep.
Well, that was our venting session now. So
Man, that was my therapy. I've had a hard time with this today. You know, just add that on to everything else. I know everyone's, you know, we're in a hard time, and it you know,
yeah,
on one hand, it's like symbolically, like with a lot of things, it's like, you know, it's time to start something new.
yeah.
But it's hard to let go.
Commencement.
Yeah.
Well, I know we wanted to vent that out because I know that was bugging me today. So
I drank so much. I drank so much today.
Yeah, I came in. You're showing me the bottle of wine you were drinking.
Oh my God. I don't even know, because I don't drink that much, but man, I don't know. The more I
wasn't
drank, the
Jack
better I
Daniels?
felt. I killed that bottle of Jack Daniels first.
It was
You
killed.
know,
It was killed.
Slancha to my boy Dean,
Yeah.
because, you know, forever.
Dean
Forever.
Winchester.
Forever, I will drink whiskey in your name, because you are probably the love of my life.
You're not
You
gonna
are
hear
me.
the.
You're in my heart. You are a piece of me, and you're in everybody that I look at.
You're not gonna hear the whole Sammy.
No.
Any of that anymore.
That's
Yeah, well, no.
Hey, ass
I need. I was telling Robert earlier. It's like, now I need to like fucking fix my car, and we need to go to the brewery so we can have a discussion.
Oh
And,
yeah,
like-
his brewery in Austin.
And like, you know, it's like, no, I need to go talk to him. I need to go talk to him. And like, first we're going to talk cars. It's like, I drove my car down here. Here's my 67. Let me see yours. And like, okay, can we get into
Yeah.
it? I need to talk to this about you, because you're the only one that understands. I feel like, God, I can't imagine. Like, you know, I kind of feel like, even though, you know, I know you've watched the Michael Rosenbaum interview with Jared when he thinks he might have got dosed too, but I think that might have been part of the reason why, like, that night didn't, like I think that everybody's been struggling with this. It's like, it's hard, and I feel for these guys, you know, even though I don't know them. It's like, it can't be easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I agree.
Dang.
Bless you.
Thank you.
All right, so are we gonna start?
Yeah, I was waiting. I was waiting for you to
You know,
vent.
I
so-
can't. I will do this because it's hard.
Now it's my turn to vent about Smallville. No, I'm just kidding.
Smallville. I need to watch that, man. There's
I
so much-
think I'm just kidding.
you know, I never really watched it because I didn't have CW until
You-
it was over.
you-
You know, or
You
the
can ask
WB.
Robert. He was picking on me the last episode. He goes, "So you waited 10 years for this? Shut up."
That's the
You
thing,
waited
though, man.
10
Endings are
years.
hard. I don't know many shows that I'm happy with the ending. Maybe like Buffy, that had a good ending. Like where
Smallville had a terrific ending. I wanted to see him in the suit.
Warner Brothers
they
didn't let
always
it.
said that they wouldn't do that, though.
Yeah.
I need to
I
watch
know,
it.
but they kept saying that they would try to do it because it's going to be the last season anyway, and then they brought it back for the
don't know.
Arrowverse. I was like,
Yeah.
maybe you can see
I don't
Tom
know.
Welling in this. No,
I kind of appreciate that that they like kind of stuck to their guns with that, because I don't know. It always felt like Smallville was more about like before he was Superman. So if they showed him as Superman, it is more about like home and who he was up until that point. I don't know.
yeah, but there's Gotham, and then they show him in the bat suit. But
Oh well, you know.
Yeah.
I know my girl Alex. She was on there. I think she was Saturn Girl or whatever. But she says that was one of the most, the hardest roles she ever played, because it taught her so much about how to do it differently. Because she had to basically be a living action figure where she couldn't use her hands. She just had to be very stoic and just change the way that she acts. Like
right,
in general.
yeah. Superhero shows.
They're dumb. I'm just kidding.
I just love
They're
Alex.
dumb.
I love Alex. I love you, Alex Johnson. I do. I've loved her. I loved you since 2000. Not like
I love you, Michael Rosenbaum.
not like at first because I was upset that Fiona left. So weird, but I'm kind of glad she did because it introduced me to you and your awesome music, and I love you so much. And you helped me so much.
We need to have drunk Ash on here more.
Yeah, we
We
should.
need to have Alex on here. I bet I could get her on here eventually.
Do it.
Yeah, that too.
Do it.
Do it now.
That's who a song we were listening to the other day when Sebastian was like, "Y'all be quiet. It's a pretty song."
Oh yeah.
It was my Alex Johnson record. Which one was it? The Stranger Time. Yeah, that's really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stranger Time.
Okay. You guys ready to
We're ready.
jump on the subject?
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna get heavy on this too.
Our subject this week was something I've been wanting to talk about, and I haven't talked about it. We hadn't talked about it. Bigfoot kill or no kill. The pros and cons of that. So, I know from my perspective, I joined the
Excuse me.
the TBRC, the Texas Bigfoot Research Center, in 99, 2000. We were no kill.
Yep.
And I recall that.
Okay.
Let
Kill,
me-
no kill.
So I know from the TBRC perspective, we were no kill, and and that was the school that I was brought up with Luke, because Luke's view was, we wanted to just study the animal or Bigfoot, the creature or the phenomenon, and just like go from there and just try to protect it. And like, so that was my perspective growing up. And it used to, I don't want to seem like I'm greater than anybody or I'm better than anybody, but we used to have meetings. I remember we used to have meetings about how we're going to capture a Bigfoot. We used to have meetings about it. We used to have meetings about how much tranquilizer we use, or they use like a net or dig a hole where a Bigfoot would fall in. And I would say,
That just makes me sad.
it does. Wait, I was just kind of thinking, I said, wait, shouldn't we see one first before we decide to catch one or something? But
That just hurts my heart in general, because like I feel like anything that's out there is sentient. I've never any encounter that and sometimes they do things that seem very animalistic,
yeah,
but at the same time they, I can't put a label on it. On who they are. I don't like using it even
Right.
to describe them, like it, like calling a baby an it. That drives me crazy.
yeah,
I don't know who they are, but it just seems so immoral and wrong
yeah,
to me, because it just seems like they're just like these pure beings, and to do that, it would be like an ultimate betrayal of something that is a gift, because not everybody is fortunate enough to have them show themselves.
Right.
Because I feel like anytime that they do, it's a choice. They choose you to see them, to hear them, to experience them in whatever thing. And that is a gift. And to try to trick them, to trap them, to kill them is a betrayal of something so
yeah,
important and like just like almost divine, and to do that is just a blasphemy to me.
we were talking off show about this beforehand.
And it feels weird to say that, but that's how it feels to me. It's like it's almost a religious thing, and a lot of people won't agree with me, but it's just like, if God were to speak to you and appear to you,
Yeah.
and if you just are like, well, like, fuck you, I'm going to shoot you in the face.
yeah,
Instead of just being like, teach me what you have and show me what you have to say. Because I don't give a shit about putting my stuff on the news or anything like that. It's like, whatever you want to show me is meant for me. And there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Because not everybody is to a level where they're prepared to receive such things.
Yeah, I think like we were talking before off the show that we were saying that the Bigfoot sometimes chooses us to see them because he presents himself to us.
Yeah, like on that movie, it's like why did they show us and where did they go?
Which movie are you talking about?
On the Letters to the Big Man.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
That
was the part where
I was
just like, it's like where that
Right.
the one guy was like, where did they go? Why did they pick us? You know, there's a reason.
Right. I just wanted the listeners to know what movie it was. So
yeah, Letters to the Big Man with
that was actually
Lily Rabe, and I feel like that was
a good
like,
movie.
That movie honestly was one of the best movies that I think I've seen, and the most accurate movies. I feel that doesn't make it scary, like the Bobcat Goldthwait movie.
Yeah.
What's it called? Willow Creek.
Willow Creek, yeah.
Is very accurate.
Most of the Bigfoot ones out now are like that.
That movie is accurate, but in the oh my gosh, like when it goes wrong, like a scary, like I'm not saying that it's not without idea because sparing spoilers, throughout the movie it's talking about people that are missing and stuff. And it's like, we've heard stories about that. And so it's like it's within the realm of reality and based on stories, I feel. Mm-hmm. But because, not everybody's going to is not necessarily a great person. There are instances of violence and or kidnapping and stuff that we've touched on that too. But I feel like Letters to the Big Man is probably one of the best case scenarios. The more often I hear these stories and the stuff that I've heard when they're trying to communicate,
yeah,
instead of just being afraid.
Steven, you have any input on this?
Well, I like to bring up a thing on. There's a video game called Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Right.
And
very popular, very popular game. So
very, very popular. It was on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Anyway, there is a secret mission on there where you, John Morrison, the main character you play, or dang it, is it not John Morrison?
John Morrison, the wrestler?
Not the wrestler. John Marston, sorry. Marston.
Like my dude from Survivor.
His name. It's been a long time. But anyway, there is an actual like secret mission on there where this guy is like, hey, there's these creatures and they're taking our children, they're taking our food, and I'll pay you this amount if you just go around and just start killing them. So being the good guy that you are, you go out and you actually find them, and it's Sasquatch. It's like a herd of Sasquatch, like a family. Mm-hmm. So you go around, you start killing them, and it tells you how many are left, and you go around killing them, and then when you go find the last one, it's a father, and he's crying. He goes, "Why would you do this?" Like he's speaking English. He goes, "You," and then the main character's like, "You speak English?"
That hurts my heart too. Oh my god.
Yeah. He's crying, and John's like, "You speak English?" He goes, "What are you?" He goes, "We've been walking this earth, and we just want to be left alone. And you just killed the last of my kind. How could you do this?" And
you bitch.
What did we do to you? We just take berries. Because we don't even eat children. We just eat berries. We just eat vegetables. That's all we do. Why would you do this? And it makes you like feel bad. Like, oh my god.
You should. You just committed genocide.
Your character feels like Jesus Christ. Like, I am so sorry. So you have the option. He's like, just kill me. I don't want to live without my people anymore.
Yeah.
So you have the option to kill him or don't kill him. So it's so with that being said, I do agree with Ash. I think it's inhumane. I think you don't need to hurt a Bigfoot to catch one or to kill a Bigfoot to know it exists.
Yeah.
If you see it, it exists. If you even if you can't explain it. So I think killing it is the wrong way to go. I think that's a terrible thing to do, to kill something to find out it exists. I even feel the same way for aliens, or if they exist.
For anything. That's how they. I was talking about that, earlier. It's like explorers and stuff. That's how they used to do. It's like we kill like a platypus or something and send it back taxidermy because they don't have pictures or videos or
Technology back
the
then,
ability to. And it's like there's no. There really wasn't a reason to do it back then. I feel, but there's definitely no reason to do it now.
Yeah.
Other than beat my chest and it's like I did this, and that's and for an example, it's like very often in places like Canada or like there were giraffes like this too that are born white, and that's very common in moose where they're piebald or whatever, and they're protected, and then someone from the States will go up there and kill them, and someone killed these white giraffes too and just left them.
Yeah.
Just left them on the side of the road. The moose thing, I read a new thing is where they found the body, and they're protected by the indigenous tribes, because they are sacred animals to them.
Yeah.
And these people will just kill them. It's like, what's the point other than, and then they just leave the bodies, they leave the heads, they don't even keep the trophies that they probably originally went to go get them or whatever. It's like, what's the point? You killed something that was like a symbol of God on earth to these group of people, or just like this omen of that, like this good thing, this great thing, this beautiful thing that came that's like a gift, and you killed it. And why? Because for bragging rights, and then you just dumped it in a ditch. And how often has that happened in the same, like with bugs? What did they do? They killed these two creatures, and what did they do? They just dug a ditch and left them,
buried them
for no reason, because they were out varmint hunting for money, and they were looking at dollar signs. I guarantee you.
I know from like I was saying earlier, the TBRC, we were like strictly no kill, even though we took weapons out there. And I think I can't remember exactly what it was. It was like one of these we had to sign like a outline of our duties in the field and stuff like that. We all had to sign it, and at the very bottom, I do recall as saying that we were okay to shoot one if our life was threatened. If our life was threatening,
different thing entirely.
So we signed off on that, and we signed off on it. So we had to go with that, and so
that would be about the only time I would justify it.
Yeah,
and it would still be hard because it feels like more often than not, like with our Jane or our John Doe. Excuse me. Sorry, John.
Okay.
Our John Doe story.
You didn't say his name, so you're good.
Well, no, that I called him Jane.
Oh, okay.
I don't mean to demasculate you because, anyway.
He likes you. You're good.
Yeah. We're buds. You're good. When COVID's over, come over. I'll make more fried chicken. But, or examples like that. I mean, sometimes, yes, we've heard horrible stories like in Brown Springs and stuff, but more often than not, it seems like they would rather, and it seems like that with most animals. Like you remember, I don't know if you saw this viral video of this mother mountain lion shadowing this guy out, just running at him and growling and stuff. And it's like at any moment, if that cat would wanted to kill that man, she would have. But he was just walking along, and it's like, oh shit, here's a mom and a baby. It was an accident, and she was just trying to drive him right. And it seems like more often than not, that's
what happens.
Like if they wanted to hurt us, if they wanted to kill us, they would. I mean, both those times in the woods, I guarantee, like the first night we hung out, whatever, and we had that experience, it's like, if those guys wanted to kill every single one of us, they could have, because it's like we had one pistol with the dumb fuck, and and they didn't. I
think there was at least four. There was like some.
I thought at least two, but I don't know. But
there was two on the creek bed, one behind throwing rocks,
and there was like
one
maybe
screaming at us on the right.
Fucking like 5 or 6 of us in that cemetery. It's like if they wanted to fuck us up, there wouldn't have been nothing we could have done.
Yeah,
and they didn't. They just wanted us to leave them alone. And I think that's,
can't clear my throat for some reason.
COVID.
Yeah. So.
Knock on wood.
I know, knock on wood, big time. So back then it was like, I think the biggest Bigfoot group was the BFRO, and they were non-kill, And there's tons of other Bigfoot groups, but the biggest ones at the time was us, TBRC, and I don't mean to toot our own horn, but us.
But honk, because y'all did good.
Yeah, and PBS, the Pennsylvania Bigfoot Society, they were a big group too. They were non-kill, but the only group that was Gulf Coast Bigfoot Research Organization. And they're that way to this day. They had a show. I don't know if it's still going, and if it's still going, someone like message us and tell us if it is. I don't really care because I don't really care about them. They were on Destination America, Killing Bigfoot. So they had a show about, and they've always had that stance. Like even back then, they had I remember going to their website back then in 99, 2000. And they had this green and red, flashing stuff, we're killed.
I think those are the, I couldn't remember everybody's name, but I think that's who I was talking about earlier, that I remember just being like, dude, I don't want to say fuck these guys, but that's how I felt. I mean, that's how I felt. And I'm sorry if that upsets you, but I just can't get on that. I don't agree with trophy hunting of any kind. It's I'm okay if you're gonna do it for food, do it for the experience to be part of nature. Plenty of people that I know hunt deer and whatever, and I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with people that just are seem like they're just thumping their own chest to kill something and just be like, I'm a man, I proved this and whatever. And it's I kind of had that discussion with people. It's I used to talk about that with my dad too. It's well, then you'll have your proof. And I don't give a fuck about proof. I don't care anymore about proof. I don't care if somebody believes me. It's just, it's immoral to me, because it's proof is not worth someone's life. It's just when you hear about car companies that would rather have a flaw in their design because a wrongful death suit is cheaper than fixing a car. It feels the same to me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's you put a price on life, and there is no price to that to me. Nothing matters if it is in place of something that is more important,
Yeah, I'm with you on that, because I think like I was saying, whenever I was with the TBRC, we were talking about not about shooting them, but we were talking. I remember we used to have meetings about catching them. I said, man, shouldn't we see one first before we start talking about
catching them? Just feels horrible. Just think about it from their perspective. Put yourself in their quote unquote shoes.
So I think we had a couple meetings about it, and then I think when we started talking about it out loud, I said, shouldn't we see one first? And then eventually that went away.
It's even if
that
you
talk
think
about that went away.
They're an animal. Let's look at intelligent animals in captivity. Look at the dolphins and the orcas and stuff, and how they can commit suicide. Dolphins kill themselves because they're in captivity and they're so unhappy. Can you imagine? You take something like that out of the wild, this thing that is of the earth, and one with it, and just put it in a fucking cage. How horrible that is, and what it would do to that creature.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't think we would. I don't think I or the TBRC or any other group would have got even close to even catching one at all. Because according to what's them John Doe's story, I mean, this thing was massive, and it's it moves so quickly that you couldn't
do it without harming yourself or the creature.
Yeah. So, and I've always, because I think whenever I first got in the field, I bought a shotgun. I bought a Mossberg shotgun, 12-gauge shotgun, and
man, I couldn't even think about doing that.
Yeah, I didn't either, but I like I said, I was just in it for protection, because there's other things out there. There's other things out there. I don't even know if I could
do it to protect myself, because I'd be they're just scared.
No, I'm talking about other stuff out there. There's there's hogs and
even then I don't know if I've thought about that, because you're in the sticks. I remember one time I was sitting on my sister's porch, and my neighbor's dog was very much marked like a wild hog. It was dark with a stripe, and I was like, oh shit, and it ran up on the porch, and it was the dog.
Right.
But I was like, well, what would I do? Because there was wild hogs sometimes in her yard. We get up in the morning to go to work at like when we worked at the weed eater plant. We leave at 4:30 in the morning, and she said one time she turned on the headlights and there's a huge ass hog there. It's like, well, what would I do? Because those are
Right.
frightening. It's like, I don't know if I'd be like, okay, just hurt me. I don't want to hurt you because you're just protecting yourself. You're just scared,
Right.
you know.
I get it, but I was
I don't know.
I was getting to this story that I bought a Mossberg pump shotgun.
Yeah.
And I was in the field, and when I was in the field, I was so passionate about Bigfoot, about trying to document them and who they are. I sold it. I didn't want nothing to do with it anymore because I wanted to bring the point up because I know this has always been my theory, and it may not be everybody's theory, and that's fine. But I've always had like the theory if someone pulls up a camera I'm doing my hands to my face, pulls up a camera to take a picture of a Bigfoot. It's the same thing, almost the same thing as a gun.
Right. That makes a lot of sense
as you pull up a gun, like you bring it up to your face. So it's almost the same way. So that may be the reason why people don't have pictures of them, or they move away. Or
I've heard several people say that they would rather go in unarmed because they think that they recognize it. I think maybe even Les Stroud or something, some different doc. Because I watch much, it's hard to keep track of who said what, but that they understand that, and more often than not it's better to go unarmed because they understand what guns are.
Yeah, because like I know when we went out to the field, we went in this area called Area 2, and I can say it now because I'm not part of that group anymore. I don't really give a shit, but Area 2 was Sulphur Springs over by
and I mean I've been on
Mahomie Slabs, I think is over.
And there's lots of stories. I mean, I went over there several times with Luke and Billy, and like at least 2 or 3 times. That's kind of the general area we go to, and there's lots of stories like for years and way back into like early times when people were just first living out there. I think it was there that Billy said they described them there the naked ladies in the woods. Yeah, there's a lot of activity out there.
So, I was saying that whenever we went out there to Area 2, I would go out there and I would just have these feelings about, Bigfoot and why we were there and just stuff like that. It hit home on me. And like, I didn't care about carrying a weapon. I didn't care about, I would take a knife. That was about it. But it was mostly like for camping stuff. But whenever we would go out to those areas, we would go out there with weapons. And we wouldn't get any sounds, any calls, any tree knocks, nothing. We wouldn't get any sense. So later on, as I started hanging out with other people in TBRC, like Tim didn't carry a weapon, and like Buddy didn't carry a weapon, and I think Ken carried a weapon, but he left it inside his truck. So, and we would be in the field, and then we would get stuff. We would get stuff happening to us, and it would take us especially like in Lamar County. It took us like 6 months just to get a Bigfoot close enough where we could smell it, or we would hear it, or he would throw sticks at us or rocks or whatever. And so we would get calls back. We would get tree knocks. We would get all this stuff. And like I was going, I go, man, and none of us had a weapon. Yeah. And I think it knew that. Yeah. It knew that we didn't have a weapon. And I think.
Well, you got to think about it from their perspective.
Yeah.
If you someone walking by your house with a gun, are you inclined to talk to them?
I know.
I understand wanting to be safe, but I don't feel like, for the most part, of course, like with anything, there are some that are going to be assholes and violent and do horrible things, but I think for the most part, they just, if they reach out to us, it's because they want to know us.
Yeah. Yeah, they want to know us and experience us the same way we want to experience them. I almost sound like, I don't know, like a dream or something.
It's hard I feel that, but it's hard. Like the more I know, the more I feel that way. And I feel like the longer people are involved in it, for real involved in it.
Right.
That's where they go, and they don't like to talk about it because it does seem, it's like, oh, I sound like a fucking hippie or whatever, you know? It's like, it's ridiculous. And like 10 years ago, I said it was ridiculous. But it's like you have to step outside yourself and just allow what's happening to embrace you.
I think, it's just kind of odd right now because there are so many different people in the field now. Because like I was when in 99 to like about, I want to say 2006, 2007, I was in the field all the time. I was going to Oklahoma. I was going to East Texas, and I was, setting up experiments and trying different things and documenting stuff with Buddy Britt and all this stuff. And I think after 2006, 2007, it was like the community was so toxic. I left.
Yeah, that's about the time that I got on it too.
So, and I didn't left. I think I came back in, 2011, 2012. And like I haven't been in the field that much right now because like we're always podcasting, and I'm writing comics now, and I do another podcast
and
too.
We both have full-time jobs,
and we got full-time jobs.
We all have full-time jobs and babies and stuff, and it's hard. But yeah, I agree, man. I want to go back out, but I don't. I only want to be with certain people in certain areas, and I don't necessarily want to record anything. I just want to go because I feel like that's where I need to be. Where everything, like, I feel, and it's hard to explain. It's like since we started all this and we got on all this, it feels like like there's something waiting. I don't really know how to explain it other than there's something that all of us are meant to find, and I don't know what or where it's going, and I've kind of felt that way my whole life. But it's just like, it's one of those things. It's like I'm waiting and something's going to happen. And I don't know.
Steven, for some reason, got logged off.
Uh-oh.
So.
Okay, all right. There's, I guess, a county in Washington called Skamania County where it's illegal to kill a Bigfoot.
Right. I think the whole state of Washington, it might be.
Washington. I guess Washington learned that if it exists and you kill it, it's a felony and you spend 5 years in prison. Which I think.
Meanwhile, in Texas.
Yeah.
So anyway, I started blasting.
Thanks, Frank.
So, so you're Vietnam vets, right? Yeah. So
we were varmint hunting and we were just shooting, and we thought it was some slow people in the woods, and so we buried them and didn't
We're
tell
human.
anybody.
So anyway, I started blasting.
Excuse me, sir. Please stop shooting. God damn.
Quit moving so I can get this buckshot in you.
I wonder if he's still alive.
Who?
Bugs.
I don't know.
Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me where the nearest highway is? And that's when we started blasting.
Oh, it's horrible, but it's true, man. You know, I'm from Southwest Arkansas, where it's like shoot first and ask questions later. And I remember getting into like heated debates in the middle of class when I'm like in elementary and middle school about people like, you give your kids guns early, and it's so fucking weird. And they just like boys talking about like shooting up coyotes and laughing. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? What is wrong with you?
I think it's okay to have a gun, but I think you should do it responsibly. And
yes, I do too.
You should do it like if you're going to kill something, either feed your family or donate it.
Or whatever. Don't do it for fun.
Donate it to homeless people for food. Just do
for sport. I mean, my dad was a cop. He has like probably 50 fucking guns. I don't even know how many guns my dad has. And it was, a house full of fucking guns. He was a firearms instructor. But you know how many times I went hunting or shot something? I was taught to respect a weapon and to respect life and, whatever parental failings, or that's one thing that definitely didn't happen. I was taught how to respect a gun. I've owned guns. I have no problems with guns but I definitely know I was 100% taught to understand that when you pull this trigger, I'm pretty sure that there was probably loaded guns in my house all the time when I was a kid, but you know what? I was taught to never fucking touch them unless I had permission. And that was, like very much put into my head. It's like, you do not do this.
So I was just going to say that I know I don't like this, and we talked about it on our show. Mm-hmm. I'm not for killing a Bigfoot, but I think, and I know you're probably going to disagree with me, but in order to save their species, I think they probably need a body.
Well,
And I know you're going to disagree with it, and that's fine.
I don't think it necessarily takes killing one.
Yeah.
But discovering one.
But I would be okay.
Or
it's probably going to take like someone either hitting it with a vehicle,
yeah, and
or
it
a
not
train,
disappearing.
yeah, and not disappearing like with
Yeah, I mean,
Men in Black.
That would be okay. Or on the flip side, for them to agree to something like that.
Yeah,
Because let's look at it like there are people, which I feel like, and I used to be like, whatever, but I think more and more, and I think more people that I know that are in it too, they think they're just, like the meme I was talking about. Of course, it was a joke, but it's like Bigfoot is just a man that made a choice, the right choice.
Yeah, I was in this state in the woods.
Which maybe that's true, but if it's to a point where they want to communicate, it's like, what's to say that, people donate their bodies to science, that one day there isn't one that's like, allow me to volunteer for this so that you can understand us. This
is what's probably going to happen if they were to happen like that, like you were saying, if that were to happen, say like it happens in Texas, okay, East Texas, whatever, and it's somebody hits a Bigfoot or with a car, 18-wheeler or something, 18-wheeler, but anyway,
God, that's horrible.
It's gonna be, science is gonna recognize it. And they're going to shut down all of East Texas logging wise.
Well,
and they're going to shut it all down. And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's what's going to happen. So it's going to be protected in Texas, and then someone's going to say, "Well, we got to kill one in Oklahoma and in Arkansas, and to see if it's there." And then it's going to go on for every state.
Not, like before I moved back to Arkansas last time, it was Ivoryville woodpecker was extinct, and that was about the time where it's like, but then I worked at Joe Paul's at B&B Junction, which is basically the truck stop, bait shop, whatever. We sold hunting license and all that, and we had the little guides and whatever. In the back of them, it started to be like, hey, if you have evidence of the Ivoryville woodpecker, contact the Fish and Wildlife or whatever, and let us know. And as time goes on, and it didn't shut down everything.
Yeah.
But that was one reason why a lot of people didn't want to talk about it for a long time, because they thought that would happen like that with spotted owl, but it didn't happen.
Right. Well,
but they admitted that it was real.
This is we're talking about a bipedal.
I know.
8-foot creature that.
But here's the thing:
they can get in your backyard and then the fish hatchery within minutes.
Right. But what I'm saying is, that's one reason why I feel like it's been hidden. Yeah. Is because people are like, oh, it's going to just moving away from fossil fuels. Everybody's got, oh, it's going to take away my job. It's like, no. We as a humanity can evolve about it. Yeah. Around it. And it's like, eventually they figured out, it's like, just because these ivory-billed woodpeckers are back does not mean it's going to take away the entire logging industry. We're not going to shut down Weyerhaeuser and stuff. It's okay. And I think if we can get to that level where people is like, okay, the knowledge and understanding of what's going on is more important, and it's like the industry can evolve and we can cohabitate and figure it out, because they're here and they're there and they're still already a logging industry and stuff, and it's like it's worked out. It's just like you just have to not react to oh God, to panic. You just gotta figure it out and accept it, and just figure out a middle ground. And I feel like with a lot of things, if people would just quote it instead of reacting to just okay, wait, let me think about this and figure out how to make this work.
Steven, you got any?
So anyway, I started blasting. No, it's...
You're always going to do a segment where you're
just
you're doing a punchline.
Always sunny quotes. Shit nasty.
I think in a way, I agree with you. It's going to take a body. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't. It's going to take a body, but I hope that they properly, because it is I would consider it. It's a human. I hope they do what they need to do with it, and then they give it a proper burial. because
Yeah, just kind of like
have it documented, footage, all that. Yes, we found a Bigfoot body. This is what we came out with. This is the blood type that it was. It's a female, male. It had an IQ of this or whatever it's going to do to get the test results, and then give it
Put it back,
proper
or
put it back, proper burial. Let the Bigfoot's other people know that hey,
God, I would wish that would happen, but I
I kind of
but
feel
it's
that way.
not.
it's not.
About
not.
like human bodies. Like they found all those. I think it was a couple weeks ago. They found all those mummies
Yeah, those.
and stuff, and that was the thing I was talking about on Twitter. It's like it's only 100 years is all it takes between a body being buried and then it's considered
100 years.
Archaeological 100 years. So that means like somebody you knew, if you live long enough, can be dug back
Dug
if
up
we
as-
lived until we're 90, our grandparents could be dug up in because it's archaeology.
That sucks ass.
Yeah. It's like at one point, it's like, I understand, like on one side, it's like, it's important to understand like where we come from. But on the other side, it's like, that was a person, that's somebody,
Yeah.
and it's like, to a point, I can understand studying it and understanding it. But eventually it's like, just put them back and let them rest.
So anyway, I started digging.
And I grabbed this.
Where are the shovels?
Remember, like, I don't know. It was like maybe 3 years ago or something that they found one that had like a bunch of mummies that had like all this black goo in it.
Yeah.
Because it was like sewage or whatever that had leaked into it.
And people were posting, put it back.
No, people were like requesting to drink the stuff, and it was a huge troll. Like they petitioned to do it. It was just like people were getting on this petition to let them do it. And they said it was like for religious purposes or something. It's like, let us drink the mummy goop.
My mom is calling.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
So anyway, I started answering.
Hold on. We're calling her right now. Hold on.
Put this over here. Oh my god.
Oh,
Hello?
what are you doing?
We're recording the show.
You were doing that yesterday.
That was for wrestling. That's wrestling show. Today's the Bigfoot Club stuff. So you're actually on the show right now. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
That's Ash.
Hi,
Hello.
hi, Grandma.
What? Oh. I
No,
forgot.
that's me. This is Steven. I'm saying Grandma. Hi, Grandma.
Hi, sweetheart. I love you.
I love you too. When you gonna make us guiso?
You just say the word and I'll do it.
Now.
You say jump and I'll jump.
Okay. Make the guiso with potatoes, not squash.
Okay. How's my babies doing?
They're good. They're. We got Ricardo to finally poop in the potty now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm saying that on air. Sorry.
That's fine. That's fine.
We were
That's-
talking
have
about it
the most-
yesterday.
You have the most precious babies in the whole wide world.
Yeah, they're precious looking. They're just not precious
acting.
behaving.
No. Mom, you're actually on the show. You're on episode 42. So we were talking about Bigfoot, either to kill Bigfoot or not to kill Bigfoot. So what are the pros and cons? So we're talking about that right now.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. What do you, I want to get your perspective. What do you think? Do you think science needs to kill a Bigfoot or just not kill it and just leave it alone?
Just leave them alone.
Okay, that comes from my mom. Everybody, my mom says don't kill Bigfoot. So
I agree.
yeah. So very very good, Mom. You get a lot of points, a lot of kudos for that. Thank you.
Well, I want to know, are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. We don't have to talk about that right now, Mom. So
I know. Just call me, okay?
yeah, I can call you. So, but anyway, are you wanting to hang up now or what?
Yes.
Okay, you don't want to be on the show anymore. Okay,
No.
okay. Well, everybody say goodbye to my mom. Bye, Mom.
Bye, Grandma. I love you.
I love you too.
All right, bye.
Bye, Edge. And bye, Whippersnapper.
Yeah, okay. Okay, bye. That was my mom,
She
y'all.
call someone a whippersnapper.
She calls me a whippersnapper.
Aww.
Whippersnapper.
If I don't call her on time, she says, "Call me whippersnapper."
That's cute.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you something that says that.
So my mom's mate. This is my mom's third parent. She's actually has been on the podcast more than anybody.
My mom doesn't even listen.
What?
She told me, it's like, you know how when Tyler is talking about stuff that you don't really care about? I'm like, no, I listen to him because I love him.
Is that her sweet version of saying whatever you're talking about, I really don't care about?
Yeah, more or less.
Wow.
So
that hurt me.
so she doesn't listen. Like next time she comes up here, I'm gonna ask her. So
She'll lie.
have you been listening to my show? I'll quiz her.
So anyway, I started listening.
So
She gets
anyway,
so mad at me, she'll just be like, my mom gets easily offended.
I started podcasting.
Oh no, I'm to that level.
I know. What are those sounds coming out of your mouth?
This is
that's
for my
great.
fans that, like, you know, my one friend that was like, you don't dog enough. I'm like, you didn't listen long enough, because the longer I'm on the podcast, the drunker I get.
Yeah.
Usually, because I know it'll make me talk more.
I'm gonna have to buy a bottle this week coming up. So
Of what?
Bottle of
I
Jack.
don't know, get you
No.
drunk so you can.
I killed Jack today. Before noon, I would drink it all because I was just like so sad.
The way she said, I killed a Jack
Killed
today.
it.
We're talking about not killing anything.
But we killed that Jack Daniels bottle. It took me a month or so
But
to kill that bottle
killed it.
because I couldn't take it with me to Arkansas for my birthday because I had to take the Greyhound bus.
Killed it good.
If I would have killed that bottle, I probably would have had more fun when I was in Arkansas. You know what I mean?
Why are you all macho all of a
I
sudden?
don't know.
So,
I think Blair's going to really love this episode.
yeah,
Well, she listened to the whole thing because my mom won't.
yeah.
Wow. It's wow.
Mandy, my sister, hasn't been listening either, but she finished nursing school and she got her
She
license.
she doesn't have an excuse.
Her license today.
Congrats,
So,
congratulations
But you gotta
Congrats.
listen to the fucking podcast now, bitch.
to get it. So,
Congrats.
yeah, she can listen to it now. She had no
No
excuse.
doubt, no excuses, zero excuses. She could have listened to it while she was fucking studying.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
while she was dissecting a fetal pig or whatever.
I'm really glad my mom said don't kill a Bigfoot. Mm-hmm. So
Just the way she said it.
I kind
Just
of
leave it
felt like she
alone.
would.
Just leave it
Just
alone.
leave it alone. It ain't doing nothing.
so
Doing
She was so disgusted by just leave it alone.
I'm
yeah.
like, it ain't doing nothing to you. What the fuck? What's wrong with you? What are you gonna do with a dead Bigfoot? Put it in your freezer like them Georgia boys? Oh wait, that was fake.
That's
Them fucking bitches. I would like if
Rick
like,
Dyer. Rick
If I
Dyer.
could get away with punching someone in the face just one time and no charges, I would probably do that to
or
them.
or super kick him.
No, because I got bad hips.
Okay. All right.
So, but I mean, because I remember us all waiting on bated breath because we were like,
Yeah, I remember like turning on CNN back then. Though,
and we're like, you know, it's like this can either make or break us. It can either make us like finally have like some vitality or
validity.
make us, yeah, I got a mouthful of french fries. So
Okay.
I'm sorry, audience. If you like a mukbang, I got a mouthful of some DQ french fries. But,
Wow.
So anyway, I started eating.
some french fries because I'm drunk as shit. I've been drunk since 11:30 this morning. But anyway, but they made us all
Wait,
look
yeah.
like fools.
Yeah, you're right about that one. I do recall that, but you know what? I was kind of glad that wasn't a body though, for some reason.
Because fuck those guys.
Yeah.
But they deserve to get punched in the face.
I didn't want it to be them. I didn't want it to be them.
Like, you know, the end of what's it called? Tarantino movie with the cars. Death Proof. You
Yes.
know the end of that movie
Yeah.
where they like yank him out of the car and they just like stand in the circle. Like
Yeah.
those guys kind of deserve that.
Yeah. Fuck those guys.
Fuck those guys.
So I don't know. I think this podcast was actually a lot of fun.
Was it?
Yeah. So we got
Yes.
we got the vent and
Man.
we got to talk about not killing Bigfoots, and it's cool,
And
man.
how Andrew Dabb dropped the ball, and he deserves also one of those death root circles because
Yeah.
that's bullshit. Just me and Jensen need to be in that circle.
So I'm pretty excited. Like tomorrow, we're supposed to interview
Ooh, yeah.
Lauren Smith
I
with.
should probably not drink tomorrow.
No, actually, I
Maybe a little bit.
I think you should be buzzed or something.
Okay. That's probably not so great, but whatever.
So yeah, we're gonna interview.
Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry.
We're gonna interview Lauren Smith with Nightcallers Bigfoot Radio. So she's actually big time because her mom was running that show.
I've never had the pleasure, but I've gone
Yeah.
out to the field with her mom 2 times.
Yeah,
And it was always a lot of fun.
that's all. Do you recall her being there? Because she's probably like little. She's probably like 12 or 13 then.
No.
Does she have a daughter with her? No.
No.
Okay.
It was like in 2009, maybe before.
Yeah.
No, 2007, 2008.
So we're going to interview her tomorrow for the show for Friday for Thanksgiving, and then I'm trying to get Billy Simmons on. And Billy Simmons is a good friend of
Yeah.
ours. You know Billy.
Yeah.
Steven knows Billy, right, Steven?
Yes, Billy, and I want to talk to him about guns and all that.
Not good.
Yeah. I mean, I had the pleasure of meeting Billy Simmons Sr., and he was such a good dude, right? And Steven, did you ever meet him?
No, I think I had a chance to, but I forgot what happened. But I kind of wish I would have met him because he sounded like
He was such a good dude. He was such a good dude. He was actually a Dallas cop in the 60s whenever JFK was shot.
That's
Interesting.
right. When you told me that,
Yeah,
I think I had a
remember
chance
that.
to meet him, and I wanted to ask him questions about that.
When he-
But something happened. I forgot what it was.
He
but-
used to talk to me about Jack Ruby, about he knew Jack Ruby, and like whenever that day
That's
happened,
cool.
yeah, it was really cool. He was such a good dude. He was so insightful about Native American stuff and Bigfoot stuff, and I mean, I got to be in the field with him I think like twice, and I talked to him for a little bit, and he's such a good dude. I learned so much from him. So Billy Simmons Sr. was such a good dude, and his son Billy Simmons is a good dude too. So I really love him
I've
a
had
lot.
One of my experiences with it
Yeah.
at his house.
Yes.
And his property. It was just
So
it was just very brief, but it was. I'll remember that for forever.
I was supposed to go to that too.
Man, be motherfucker. We had fun.
It's been a long time since I seen him, Billy, but I remember he's tall.
Yeah.
Billy is like super tall. So
I don't know why I used to call
He's
him.
just kind of larger than life
Yeah.
type of person, and it's great
Yeah, I used to call him the gavel. I don't know why.
because he's Law and Order,
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So
Texas Ranger type thing. Yeah.
he's a judge.
Yeah.
yeah, he used to be a constable
Yeah.
for Delta County, I think, or Hopkins County. I can't think.
He's got a great speaking voice too.
He's
Like,
retired though, right?
Oh yeah. He's
I like to listen. Like he can tell a good story, and it's like you want to listen to him, just like the way he speaks. It's like
Yeah.
you're engrossed.
so. I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but he used to say whenever I would call him, because we used to talk all the time, and I used to call him, and I'm Billy, I'm sorry I haven't called you. But I would call him, and he would explain. I go, hey, dude, what's going on? He goes, man, if I was any better, I would be in underwear, eating chili with my hands, watching midget wrestling.
Yeah, that seems pretty on par.
That sounds
Just
so
like,
crazy, but so like
like that,
Wow.
just like that way he talks.
Yeah. So he goes, Bob, if I was any better, I'd be doing that. But but he's such a good dude. So I plan on interviewing him. I want to get Luke back on it, and I want to get Tim Clay and Ken.
I want to go in the woods with all these people. I don't even care if it's on the podcast. I just want to do it, man.
So-
I'm just ready to have like some fun out in the woods with the boys, man.
So I got to get Tim Clay and Ken Marvel back on
Yeah,
together. And I know Tim's kind of he doesn't want to do it in person because of COVID stuff, and I
Yeah.
understand. I completely understand.
Hopefully.
Okay, that's good. So let's do another good night because I need a good night for the first part of the show.
Okay, I don't even know what the end of the other part was. So
I don't
can't
either.
have context.
I have to find. We're gonna find a spot for it. So
good night.
I need my context.
Good night.
okay. Thanks everybody for being on. We really appreciate it. Good night.
Good night.
Bigfoot Club. Bigfoot Club.
I must bid you adieu. And so, goodbye. And good night. Bang!